Hi everyone, welcome to day 4. So we're going to start to combine some of the things that we've learned so far. So I'm going to have you come down onto your forearms. Now it's a bit of a strange looking position because you do end up with your butt stuck up in the ceiling for sure. So I want you just to minimize that, especially if you're somebody that does have a cranky lower back. You don't want to encourage this collapse down. So here you want to think of the front ribs pulling up. So you're quite supported in the back. Okay, this would be front ribs being allowed to collapse, and then this would be the front ribs pulling up. Now from here, place the palms flat down onto the floor. I don't want you to physically take an arm off the floor, but I do want you to make your left arm so light it feels like it's hovering. Can you feel how you've shifted over into the right arm? Can you play with shifting your weight towards the left instead of letting it completely come over on the right side? And then let that left arm go heavy. So this is quite subtle work. Take your time with it. Notice if you're hunching your shoulders. So draw your shoulder blades down your back and check the front ribs. Lighten up all the weight through the right arm. You could bring it almost to the point of picking it up, but don't quite take it off the floor. Now, instead of shifting into the left side, can you let your body do that subtle shift back to the right to see if we can engage that side of your abdominal wall to hold you here, and then let the right arm go heavy. Pause for a moment. Tuck your pelvis, sad dog. Tilt your pelvis, happy dog. Find middle ground. In the middle ground, draw the ribs up without disturbing it. Start to think about that left arm coming light on the floor. Then shift your weight back towards the left side and let it go heavy. Right arm goes light on the floor. Pause. Have you scrunched your shoulders to your ears? Let them go. Have you tucked your tail under? Sort that out. Get some weight over on that right side and let it release. Okay, one more each way. So eventually you want to be strong enough that you can lighten the load of one arm on the floor, but not shift your body over to one side to do it. And then last time on the other side. And so you're looking for things like shoulders collapsing, ribs collapsing, pelvis changing position, and then let it release. Now climb up onto your hands. So familiar position, we've been here before. So we're going to take that principle of not collapsing off into one side. Spread the fingers out, take your elbow creases, rotate them forward. Remember we talked about that earlier on. And then draw your shoulder blades down. So none of this of dropping down, pull them wide. Now take one leg and extend it out. Tuck the toes under and open up the back of the knee. So this would not be an open knee that has a bend in it. You're really trying to straighten it. Now in this position, I want you to tuck and untuck your pelvis. Okay, now you can feel how much range of motion you have in either direction. Can you find me middle ground, which might mean that you're favoring more of one direction than another to find middle, and that's fine. Now, as you lift this straight leg, the pelvis and back should not change position and lower them down. So watch, if I do this, see how I collapse my back and my ribs and lower the leg down. So that's not what I want you to do. I want you to see if you can figure out where that leg can come to. That means your ribs are staying in position and not falling to the floor, because that would mean you're losing your upper body strength, and your pelvis is not changing position where you're starting to use your back to lift your leg in a way that's not functional, rather than kicking in back of the hamstring, bum, and then some back muscle. Last one, and bring that leg back and down. Take the other leg, extend it out. So tuck, untuck. You might find the pelvis moves very differently over one leg than it does to the other. So see if you can find middle ground. Check in on the ribs. Do you need to play with keeping the ribs pulled up? I know that I definitely do. And then how about the shoulder blades? Are you collapsing between them? Now, when you lift and lower the leg, push out into the heel. Remember how we did that yesterday, side lying? Push out in the heel, open the knee. That way we're going to keep this side of the waist long. And for me, it's not about the height that you're achieving, but the fact that you change nothing as you lift and lower this leg. And then bring the knees down, open them out wide, sit back towards your heels, and turn the hands over so the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and just pull back for a moment. Take a couple of breaths in and out here. Elbows stay off the floor. Okay, now walk forward and thread the legs through so that you sit back for the roll up. So remember, knees are bent, heels to the floor, and spine really long. And again, you can hold on to the back of the thighs. I'm just going to keep building every day now, but you should really work with what is best for you right now. So eyes go on the horizon, arms come out front. Push the heels down and away from you and roll the pelvis back. So effectively, it's going into sad dog mode. Now just go to the top of your pelvis first, if that's available to you. Pull your heels to you and come up. Now, as you repeat that, notice if you're going down heavier on one side of your pelvis than the other. Do you need to play with that? So I know that sometimes if I don't think about it, I like to lean off into my left side, and I have to work into thinking about putting weight through the right side of the pelvis to pull up, which then makes it feel like I'm not coming down straight, but I know that I am. The body is a crazy mad journey, that's for sure. All right, last two. Are you breathing? And then pulling back up. And are you able to get to the top of your pelvis without needing to put your belly button on the floor or your ribs on the floor? And then come all the way up. Okay, now if you need to, hands go on the floor to lie yourself down. If you don't need to, roll yourself back and down. So bring your knees into your chest, interlace your fingers, hands to the back of your head, and the thumbs running down your neck, elbows close in. So remember the just right position. Bring your shin bones up, move your legs forward, and we can go in and out of this 3 or 4 times, because sometimes you're just different every time you come to the mat, depending what time of day you've switched this on to do it. So you're looking for that subtle curve behind the belly button, but none of the back ribs coming off the floor. When you think you have it, fix your gaze on the ceiling, exhale up to the ceiling first, and then curl forward looking through your knees. Now exhale and just a very subtle tucking of your pelvis. Turn to the right, stay there, and open your elbows where you really don't fall back. Now extend your left leg out on a high diagonal. And then as you exhale, deepen the tuck of the pelvis, curl forward towards your bent right knee. Inhale, release a little. 2 more times. Exhale, deepen the tuck as you lift the upper body towards that right knee. Inhale, release a little. 1 more time. Release a little. Come center, come down. Bring the knees in. Send them forward again. Find your just right position. Close your elbows in. Exhale, curl up and curl forward. Now find that subtle tuck of the pelvis, lower back toward the floor. Take a twist to the left and then open the elbows out. Okay, hold here, and you could add on extending that right leg. Remember, this is optional. And then exhale as you curl up and deepen the tuck of the pelvis. Inhale, release a little. And all of this it's literally like a hair deeper in and release out. 1 more time. Release out and hug the knees in towards your chest. Okay, now from here, come up to seated, whether you roll onto one side or hold onto the back of the legs and rock yourself up. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the side. Now, we did this earlier with the hands in a prayer position. I like that because it keeps the chin centered with the chest. But today we're going to outreach the arms instead. So I want you to reach the two arms either side and then pull them slightly forward of your shoulder joint, palms facing down. Take a breath in, exhale, twist to the right, and now hold that twist. And notice, is your chin in the center of your chest, or has your neck told you that you've twisted a lot, but actually the ribs haven't really done much? If you exhale, can you pull the left ribs round to the right a little bit more deeply, and then come back to center? Now do the same thing to the left, rotate, hold your twist. Now same thing, bring the chin back in line with the center of the chest, and instead exhale and see if you can rotate the right ribs round a little bit more. Come back to center. And again, exhale, twist. Then deepen the ribs. Now pause for a moment. Did you let a knee come up? Did you sit off into one bum cheek? Fix it. And come back to center. Take a twist to the left. Same thing. Line everything up with the center of your chest. Anchor into both sides of the pelvis. Come back to center. Last one. Take a twist. Now remember how we lengthen the sides of the waist? Inhale. Lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. Come back to center. Last time. And come back to center. Good job. Now from center, turn to lie on one side. So remember, one long straight line, both legs reaching out, head drops down. That spare hand comes in front of you and then walks forward. Roll the top hip forward and weight into this arm. Bring your top leg up, push out into the heel, lift the underneath side of your waist, and now the bottom leg 10 times. Lifts, lowers, lifts, lowers. Now remember what I said, don't worry about foot to foot because I don't want you doing some funky shape in your ankle. All I want you to concentrate on is that your shoulder isn't wrapped to your ear, that the underneath side of your waist is staying clearly lifted away from the floor. Last one here. And let it release. Okay, bend the knees and swing them back. Prop up onto your elbow. And remember how we talked about this being a completely straight line and this being a completely straight line. So your elbow under your shoulder. Take your arm, wrap it around your rib cage. Now already think of drawing the tailbone down and through. Exhale and lift up. Now hold the lift and take this top arm, extend it up, and then release the pelvis down. So as you exhale, pick up the hip, tuck your tail under to reach for the stars and come back down. 2 more times. Up, reach, come on down. And last one, up, reach. Now hold here. Take the top leg, extend it out. Push out into the heel just like you did a moment ago. And then let it all release and come down. I like to sneak a little one in there. Okay, so swing the legs around for me. Come out to one long line. Pressing out into your feet. So elbow into your waist, spare hand on the floor, slide it forward. Let me scoot back a bit and roll your weight forward into that hand. Top leg comes up, push out into the heel, and then 10 times the bottom leg, lowers, lifts. So as you get going, very often you'll find that the weight's coming out of this floor hand because you're rolling your pelvis backward. Roll the top hip forward. That's crucial for making sure we really engage not just the leg, but the work that your waist and your back are doing right now. Watch your shoulder isn't round your ear and that both heels are pushing away. Last one. And then both legs come down. So now prop up onto your elbow. Swing your legs back behind you. Create a long straight line from shoulder to knee. Once you have that, find a tuck of the tail, ribs really draw back and in, and bring your arm around you. So shoulder, no collapse, exhale up and let it come down. Exhale up. Now on this one, deepen the tuck of the tail as you extend this arm, reach up and come on down. Now as you go to come up, draw the two shoulder blades away from each other and come down. And then last one, come up. Now hold and extend that top leg, push it all the way out, get it longer, get it longer, get it longer, and let it come back and down. Good job. All right, turn back onto all fours for me. So shoulders over elbows, over wrists, knees directly underneath your hips. Okay, hopefully some of this is making sense to you now. So elbow creases go forward. Your shoulder blades go down the back of your rib cage, but they also pull away from each other. And the tailbone is neither in that over tip to the ceiling or over tuck to the floor, but the middle ground. Now from here, you're going to weight shift into one arm, take the other arm, extend it forward, turning the palm so it's facing the edge of your mat. And then bring that hand back down. Then take the other arm, reach that forward, and come back down. Now, do you remember how we started the class taking an arm and bringing it into a hover? So as you take your arm and reach it forward, notice if you've leant over into the standing side, could you bring your shoulder right over where the missing wrist would be? And then take that arm, bring it down. So as you extend the other arm, the temptation is to just lean your body off to one side, but I want you to keep your shoulder right over the missing space. Go one more on each side, reach up and out, bring it in, and then last time on the other side, and bring it in. Okay, sit back just for a moment to come off your wrist, and then we're going to add in the leg lift to that, and then we will call it quits for today. So make sure you have space to extend a leg back and an arm forward. So spread out the fingers, elbow creases forward, shoulder blades wide and down, and the pelvis neither in the tuck nor the tilt. Now extend the opposite arm and leg out, but just keep them on the floor for me. And notice, have you already started to twist the pelvis? Can you square it back up? Now, if you know that you like to collapse down, take those front ribs, pull them up and pull the shoulder blade wide. Lift the arm and leg 1 inch up, 1 inch down, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Now, in this case, bigger is not better, because that moment of takeoff is when you really load that whole midsection of your body. I want you to watch how you do that. No leaning off to one side, no twisting, and then bring it all back in. Take the opposite arm and leg, extend it out. So square the pelvis here. You don't want to be like this, rotated. You don't want to be like this, collapsing down. And then from here, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Is there any chance of you breathing at the same time? Okay, check in. Are you dropping into your shoulder blades? Are you collapsing into your back? Last one. Good. And then sit back. You've earned it. Good job. So now we're starting to pull things together. I hope you can see how we're starting to pull all the threads together to really build you this strong midsection. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make sure you get a good stretch out and a rest today. Hi, I really hope you enjoyed working out with me. I'd love to send you my free 30-minute Restore Your Whole Body Pilates program. All you need to do to receive that is just click the link below in the description or pinned into the top of the comments. That will take you straight through to a page where as soon as you enter your email address, you'll be given direct access to the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's the fastest way to get a notification every time I post a new video here. And lastly, I love to make content, but it's really helpful to me if you can leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed about this video and what other content you would like me to create. Anything that you particularly want to work on, whether it's shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, just leave me a comment. I'll check it out and I'll see what I can do. Thank you.